God, this is amazing. You're all so great. All right, let's go ahead and take a look.
Thank you.
Oh
Was
man,
it you? Did you do it?
Don't forget to delete my wrong, Clarion.
someone did a great job on this layout, and I think it might have been me. Hi
Do
everybody.
you have like a clapping sound? That
Well,
you
I'm
can
sure
click
whoever's
when you-
responsible is as humble as he is talented.
Absolutely. And yes, I do have applause, but I'm gonna save my sound effects. I'm still getting so many notifications of cheers and stuff, and it makes me so happy. So you're all in here right now. I see 2 Clarions because I need to delete one of them.
Yes.
Yes.
The one that's actually level 1 is the one you want to keep, I imagine, yeah?
No. The
Okay.
one that's level 1 is the one that I didn't put my, you said to put my, abilities in.
Gotcha.
But I still can't do that.
Gotcha. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and do this together.
Yeah.
And hopefully we'll be able to figure this out. Hedgie cheered 500 bits. Dear Lord, we're getting up to level 3 hype train. Like, this is way beyond anything I could have ever hoped for or expected. You all are so amazing, and I'm just going to keep... you honor me. You honor me so much. That's all I can say. And all of these wonderful players who are going to be amazing. All right, so I'm going to delete this. And this is the guy I was portraying, by the way. So everybody, just double checking, all of the players are in Fantasy Grounds. You can all see.
I can see Clarion and Hyacinth, and myself, of course.
Alexis, how you doing?
I have it up. I don't have a character yet.
No problem. Okay, so what we're gonna do, first off, the big thing is, and this might be rough for some folks, every single one of you, go and click on the library, which is the very, very bottom right thing. Yes?
Nope.
Done so.
Thank you, Mahjong. Oh my God, my brother is here. I am so happy. So click on modules.
I'm not Demigod's brother.
So
Brother.
click on modules.
I don't even know what I'm doing. It's fine.
All right, so
Library,
you
there
post-
it is.
Yeah, we click on library. It's the bottom rightmost tab.
Yeah, it's
Modules.
library and then modules, and you will need to load the books that I have made available for you. Now, I can't show what that looks like from the other side.
But you
Just
can
like
click
all of
on,
them?
on the lower right.
Just-
You can
Just
see
say
all.
Yeah, just load all the books. It'll take a little bit. You might get a spinny, a beach ball for a moment. Don't panic. Okay? That way you'll have access to all the books that you need, all of the class features, all of the other things. You have access to all of the books that I have bought on Fantasy Grounds Unity, which is what we're working on, is Fantasy Grounds Unity. I see Mahjong's here. I see Joan is here. I see Marcus has been just cheering up a storm. Macaulay is here. I really appreciate all of you. Okay. So once you get everything lit up, yes, okay. Again, if you click on library,
Yeah.
something that is helpful to me is in the library menu. If you go to, and in fact, I'm going to go ahead and really quick. I'm going to go ahead and just zoom in on the tabletop. If you go to this all button on the upper right, it'll just show all of the options on those columns to the right of the board. That way, it'll show just everything. That's the way it works for me. I'm not showing that on stream because there's no reason to show menus for no reason. But yeah. So what I'm going to do is I am going to make my... I was going to call him Billiam, but I don't like Billiam. I'm going to name him Barnabas Boulder Shoulder. This is the player character that I am going to make who is going to help you out every now and again. And folks in chat, we are using...
Playing the part of Pack Mule.
Yes, basically. Folks in chat, we are using Fantasy Grounds Unity, which is indeed a system that requires a subscription. I have a subscription that allows other people to connect with my game without having to have their own subscriptions. So here is how making a character works, and it's not as difficult as you might think. Once you have a name, the very first thing that you need to do is decide your stats. Now, in this game, we are using either point by or standard array. I always make my characters with standard array because I have it memorized and it's easy. Okay? Standard array is 15, 14, 13, 12, 10, 8. It's just something that I have in my head. So I'm going to give Barnabas, I'm just going to click on strength and type in 15 for his strength. Obviously, his constitution is going to be 14. And then, I don't know, maybe I'll give him a dexterity of 13, and all of his mental stats are going to be dumb stats because this is a DM character and I don't want them, like, really helping. So we're going to give him a wisdom of 12, a charisma of 10, and an int of 8.
Seems reasonable.
I imagine, at Amazon Dagny, I imagine that we will probably end up having lots of new wonderful emotes and such after all of these incredible subscriptions that I'm getting. Now, once you have your stats in, the next thing you do is click on races, or as I call them, species. I prefer that myself, but that's what the game calls them. And you get to go down, choose your race. I'm going to choose dwarf, and you literally just pick it up and drag it into the race bit, and it'll ask you to choose what kind of dwarf do you want to be. And I'm going to be a shield dwarf. Boom. Automatically, my strength has been increased to 17. Automatically, my constitution has been increased to 16. That's why it's so important that you put in the abilities first, because when you put in your race, it'll make the adjustments automatically. Any questions so far? How's everyone doing? How's everyone in chat doing? We have yet another hype success. We just reached level 3 on the hype train.
That's so exciting.
Skills.
Yeah, how do I choose those?
Oh, you
Okay.
click on them. I'm just trying.
No. We'll get there. You don't have to choose. You don't have to click your skills. You do not
But
have.
it comes up when I do the race. It says choose two
Oh,
skills
yes,
from the
yes.
list below.
Yes.
There's the species skills.
If there's a choice that you have to make when you choose your race, then yeah, you make it there. So that's true. So you get to choose. Now, again, though, if it overlaps at any point, just keep track of what you've already chosen so you don't accidentally choose it twice. Because remember that you can't choose the same skill twice to get double proficiency. That's not the way it works.
Unless if you're a rogue.
Unless if you're a rogue or have other wuju. Okay, so going back to the table, I can go ahead and drop this races thing. I'm going to go ahead and go backgrounds. And this dude is going to be just a soldier, a simple man. So I'm going to take the soldier background and I'm going to drag it to the background section of the character sheet. And as you can see in the very, very tiny text, that gives me military rank, it gives me athletics, it gives me intimidation, which if I go to abilities, I can see, if I go to skills, you can see that athletics and intimidation are already marked as proficient. And we've also got proficiency, tool, one type of gaming set, land vehicles, which I can go ahead and drop in and change manually if I want. So,
On mine.
yes. Why don't we talk a little bit? Hold on. Why don't we talk a little bit as well about your concepts, so that we can figure that out?
Sounds like a good idea.
So what were you going to say first, though, Jen?
The background that I was going to take. Remember that we don't have the background on here. So how do I do that? Because we were talking about
that's right.
noble artificer.
That's right.
Because I am both a noble and an entertainer.
Yeah.
So it's Oops All Nobles.
Right.
Yep. It's all noble.
Which yes.
I can tell you what I did.
What did you do?
I just went with initially when I just checked the backgrounds, I just found a background that gave me the skill proficiencies that I wanted out of that thing, and then I just went into when I was done with the sheet, I went into abilities, and you'll see, and I found under features, it listed that as one of my features and the associated mechanic. So on the bottom right, there's a little tab that says Edit List. That let me go into that. I deleted that entry and created a new entry for my own custom bit, and I even put in a formatting of our version of the variant. I'm not sure if Rob can see it under my
can't
features
at the moment.
Because under my features I put in noble origin variant bastard.
Let's take a look. So I see noble origin bastard, and I click on that, and there it is. And
I put in it's the standard benefit from being noble, the position of privilege, but I changed the skill proficiencies to deception and insight, to be able to be good at telling and detecting lies.
To be clear,
give a small blurb and a language and a game set.
To be clear, by the way, all of this is acceptable under the rules found in Xanathar and Tasha. Like, being able to take and make your own backgrounds and change around backgrounds is 100% canon. You are allowed to do it. So yes, you can, and basically everything in this game is customizable. And I really like, Jeff, thank you so much for showing
how did you pull
off.
that?
At the very bottom right of your sheet, there is a little circle with a dash in it that says Edit List when you hover over it.
Aha.
If you click on that, it gives you backdoor access to everything. And you can make your own abilities if you get good enough with this program. I am not that good with this program, but you can literally homebrew your own abilities with their own dice rolls and their own results and their own everything, if you get very, very good at this program, which I am not.
We're all going to learn so much here.
Okay,
Absolutely.
So how did you edit that? I'm assuming I'm going to be changing my stuff
I just mirrored the formatting that it was using and just whole hawk typed up my own and then just copy and pasted it into it.
Yeah, if you go through, like, explore a little bit, and the worst this is only a first level character, right? So the worst thing that can happen is you ask me to delete your character and you start again.
Oh darn.
Look at all those trains in chat. I'm seeing a bunch of folks with choo-choo trains. I love it.
Oh, hey, Hedgie Cleric, congratulations on your conductor's badge.
Yes, thank you, Hedgie Cleric. Edgy Cleric is what the captions say. Oh, speaking of which, while we're working on this, I just want to mention to everybody, yes, I am using Google Meet to get these captions. They are, of course, live captions, which means they are subject to autocorrect nonsense. Alex Morning Kill gifting 5 subs. My lord. I don't even know what to say. I really don't. Like,
you say nothing except for thank you.
You guys are gonna make me blush. You all honor me so much. I really appreciate you. Wow, and wow again. Okay, so what's next? I've got my background. I've got my race. Now I need my class, right? So I'm gonna go into class over here on the right. And I'm going to make this character as basic can be. By the way, just really quick, Jockey Wagga, Gangster7, Alex Morningkill, Homer's 1420, Micalia Vega, and whatever Forest, welcome. Welcome to the honored ranks of my subscribers. And yes, I very much appreciate those of you who are modding for me right now. I know there's at least 2 of you, maybe as many as 4. So I appreciate that. Not that I'm expecting shenanigans, but you never know. So the next thing we're going to do is I'm going to make this dude as basic can be. So I'm going to take fighter. I'm going to drop it under class. And it will automatically give me maximum HP for that first level. Now, when it comes to gaining HP when you level, I am okay with you rolling if you want, but you would have to roll on stream and deal with the consequences. Or you can just take average. What the sheet will automatically calculate average increase for you, and that's probably the best way to go. But it's up to you. I'm going to choose two. Let's see. I'll go with, what do I already have? I have intimidation and athletics already.
Oh.
So I'm going to go with, let's say, perception and survival, so that he can do things like guard the camp while you all are off dungeoning and or dragoning.
How do I get to and or dragoning?
Let's just say that I promise you that the what it's written on the tin will be paid off in this campaign.
I'm so excited.
That's what I can promise. I can promise you that the promises made on the package will be honored. Okay. So that's basically it for the fighter, right? The fighter doesn't have anything else. Barnabas Boulder Shoulder is ready to go. If I wanted to add another level of fighter, I would simply drag another level of fighter onto him. It can get a little bit complex when you do cross classes, and Fantasy Grounds Unity can't do everything. Sometimes it doesn't have a functionality that I wish it had. But at any time,
it can do more than you expect.
Yes, and at any time, you can just roll the d20 and tell me what your modifier is, and I'll tell you whether you hit or not. Like there's no worries here if you don't know how to navigate the format. Now, really quick, because Barnabas Boulder Shoulder doesn't have any spells, that's the next thing that you would normally think about when you're making a character if you are a caster. Now, we don't have any preparation casters, right? No? We've got a bard and a sorcerer. Let's talk a little bit about concepts. Let's start with Alexis up top. What are you thinking about building? The theme that we sort of came up with coming up on this is Oops, All Nobles. So everyone is going to have probably some sort of very tropey noble background, and maybe, or maybe not. We'll see. I'm very excited to see what comes up. So let's go ahead and start with Alexis.
I'm already ready to break that trope. I want to play a half-orc barbarian, if possible. And the way that I'm weaving in a noble background is by having her be a noble of an half-orc tribe in the Sword Mountains.
I love it.
So like the child of the chief or so on.
Yeah, she
Perfect.
has 7 brothers.
Orcs are known for, in problematic ways for lots of reproducing. Mm-hmm. Anyway, yeah. Yes. So you're looking at half-orc barbarian.
That doesn't have to be a negative. The parents could be perfectly fine, and it's a totally equitable arrangement.
So when talking about a barbarian, there are a lot of ways that you can go. Are you just gonna go spam into strength con?
I would like at least strength to be my deal. Yeah. I don't know how to do abilities in this yet, but I think I have everything else set up.
Nice. So when you first open up the sheet, which you do by going into PC and hitting that plus button, and in fact it looks like Bard Songs, you do have someone. I'll delete this older one.
Yeah, I made like 3 on accident. I'm sorry.
That's okay. I'm actually going to go ahead and delete anything that you're currently owning. Good. Okay. So the actual process of putting in the ability scores is literally just click on it and put in the number you want. There is nothing physically stopping you from entering 20s into everything. So let's just go ahead and
do it.
and once all of those abilities are in there, then the rest of it falls into place. It gets really complicated if you do anything other than the ability scores first.
Makes sense.
And by complicated, he means it doesn't work.
It doesn't work. Not even a little bit doesn't work.
Now, for those of you who are casters, Jeff, did you figure out how to get the spells onto your sheet?
Yeah, my spells are on my sheet.
In fact, I can actually access that sheet.
They're listed under actions.
Yeah, and the way that spells work in this is it's also drag and drop. You have a spells tab that you can use to find the spell that you want, and you can drag and drop it. I've never played a preparation caster using this before, but since we don't have one, then we don't have to worry about it. All you need to do is make sure that you have access to all the spells you want. And really quick, if you click on actions and you click on under display, instead of group, you can hit display actions. And instead of mode, you can go to like preparation or combat, and it'll give you little little icons that will show you this. The little D20 is attack roll. The little blood droplet is damage, and there are other sorts of effects that you can put onto your enemies. Now, I can't navigate your sheet while you are navigating your sheet, or else we'll be wrestling for control, so I will be backing off of that and going back into Barnabas. And
but I'm just I only have like I resisted my more base instincts and went for only 2 combat relevant spells, and my intent is to be a slightly more utilitarian caster.
So you're going with a sorcerer, yes? Now, sorcerers are unique in that they choose their class specialty immediately. What kind of sorcerer are you looking to play?
I elected, of the various choices, I elected to go with Sorcerer's Origin Shadow, the Shadow Magic.
Very nice.
I felt it synced well with my racial variant, which is the Galesa type Tiefling. So they're basically geared around deception, illusions, and never doing one thing, saying another. Like they're absolutely two-faced liars. But I'm weaving, and my challenge is weaving that into other decisions I have made.
So you're going to be less of a pew-pew sorcerer and a little bit more of a these are not the droids you're looking for sorcerer?
Not strict, not like mind control. Mine's going to be more of, that is clearly a wall. That is clearly a wall. Why is the dog telling me to kill my boss?
Fair enough. The dog isn't being harmed. It was just telling him to kill another person. It's a different thing.
The dog is blameless in this exchange.
Now, Jeff, if I know anything about you, my friend, I know that you made a very large and unwieldy background that I will be spending a long time reading over so that I can use it to torment you later. But can you give me just a short background of what you've come up with so far?
The base synopsis is that a little bit I got a glimpse earlier with Noble Origin Bastard. I am the youngest of 9 children, and that was done by die rolls for character creation. And so he is the story told to the world is that he is an unfortunate result between a grieving widower and is an acknowledged bastard and is the lowest of the low of the totem pole, but he is still a member of the family. He has a very unique relationship with his parents and his siblings, and is mostly adventuring right now when he should be going into therapy. And I'm not traumatized by my past. You are.
And you have a name, yeah? What's your character's name?
Calder Creed.
Calder Creed. And I didn't ask Alexis. I didn't ask you if you had a name yet. Do you have a name for your barbarian?
Yes. I don't have the sheet up because I don't know what I'm doing. But I have Sherog Thar.
Sherog Thar. I love it.
How do you spell that?
It's Sharon with a G.
Sherog Thar.
Sharog.
Okay.
So I am Sherog. Can you see that in your sheet, the thing that I just typed?
Yes.
Excellent. So I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can help out a little bit. And you said Thog like THOG?
THAR.
AR. Thar. Okay, I misheard.
Sherog Thar.
Okay. So when it comes to I don't actually know what the point buy system can result in other than the 15, 14, 13, 12, 10, 8 that I already know. Do you know what numbers you want to put in which category?
Let's put the highest in strength.
All right, so I'm going to put 15 in strength.
And constitution. let's make the other one Constitution.
That makes perfect sense to me. Barbarians do get their Constitution bonus as a bonus to their base armor class. So now you have a 13. Where's that going to
go? Let's make it Dexterity.
So far, same decisions as our fighter friend. Excellent. And then Intelligence, Wisdom, Charisma, you have a 12, a 10, and an 8 to place.
Let's put the 12 in Charisma.
12 in Charisma, 10 in?
Intelligence.
And then 8 in Wisdom.
Yeah.
Lovely. So now, if you would be so kind on your side, go ahead and click on the Races tab.
I got this.
Grab Half Orc and drag it on over to where it says Race in your sheet, and I should be able to see it pop up once you do that. Yes! Yes! Okay. Same deal with background. If you want to just choose a background that has the skills that you want, we can always edit it later. But same deal, go into backgrounds, pick a background you like, drag it on in.
I'll go with Noble for now.
Fantastic. And that should give you some, if you look in the chat, it should give you some skills, and it should give you some other stuff. The next thing you'll want to do is go into classes and drag Barbarian onto your class level. Beautiful. That gives you 14 HP, as you can see. And then the last thing for everybody to do is if you click on your, if you go back into classes and you actually click on your class, we got to talk a little bit about gear, because that's the only thing we haven't talked about yet. So I'm going to click on Fighter. And Fighters, if I go on the other tab, actually, is it in the other tab? No. No, it's in the main tab. Near the bottom, it says Proficiencies Equipment. You start with the following equipment in addition to the equipment granted by your background. So, for example, I'm going to go ahead and jump over to back to Barnabas. And he starts with either chainmail or leather. So I'm going to start him with chainmail. So I'm going to go to Items. I'm going to type chainmail into Items. I'm going to switch to the Inventory tab of my PC. If I'm going too fast, please stop me.
You're going too fast.
Okay. You can take items that you find in the Items tab, and you can drag them into your inventory, and theoretically it should automatically equip it, but there is a button that allows you to equip or unequip anything that you've got on.
Fancy.
Yeah, once all the setup's done, this is all going to go really great. And we're doing great on time, by the way, I think. We've only been doing this for about an hour, and that even includes my horrendous mess up. So we're doing great.
What mess up?
Yeah, the thing that doesn't exist. No,
Exactly.
I'm gonna leave that in because I want to make sure people see that, you know, even lifetime DMs mess up all the goddamn time. So I get a martial weapon, being a very basic dwarf. That's going to be a battle axe. Just a standard battle axe, which I will pull into my inventory. And now that those are in my inventory, if I click on actions, you'll notice that I have a battle axe attack that I can now make. It automatically puts it in there once you have that equipped. What else do I get? I get a light crossbow or 2 hand axes. Let's go with the hand axes because this is just the dwarfiest dwarf that ever dwarfed. Hand axe. 1, and I'll just click this one and make it a 2. And now under actions, I also have a melee and a thrown version of hand axe. I hope folks who are watching in chat, I hope this is making sense to everybody. Because this is a really, really great system. And once you get started, By the end of this, I'm pretty damn sure we're going to be able to run an actual encounter. We'll talk a little bit about how combat works. It's going to be phenomenal. Does anybody currently... Oh, wait, hold on. Let's finish this up. A Dungeoneer's pack or an Explorer's pack? I'm going to give Barnabas the Explorer's pack, which, again, you can just search for. Explorer. I see the Explorer's pack. I go into inventory, and it's automatically going to drop all the things in the Explorer's pack into my inventory. Those folks in chat should be able to see that now there's a ton of things. I have my backpack, I have my battle axe, I have a bedroll, I have a mess kit, I have rations, I have rope, I have you and your fucking rope. I have a tinderbox, I have torches. Boondock Saints, classic.
Typical.
Mahjong says that it makes sense. It's less confusing than he thought it would be. Thank you. I appreciate that I'm doing a good job teaching. That's what I got out of that, obviously.
5e is also refreshingly streamlined.
And then the last... Yes, I agree. And then the last thing that you get, and this is kind of homebrew, the last thing that you get is gold, right? So let me go back into classes because I just deleted it for some reason.
That's how life go.
And a fighter specifically gets... Where is the gold? It doesn't say. Is it in other? No. Somewhere there should be a thing that says how much gold you get. And it's usually like it's usually like a D6 times 10 or something like that. And I'm not finding it at the moment.
You have what, a fighter there?
I have a fighter here, yeah.
Let's see.
Let me try one of the other, because I have fighter from multiple.
It's 5d4 times 10.
5d4 times 10? Okay, so 5d4 times 10, I am allowing all characters to start with maximum gold. So 5d4 is 20 times 10 is 200. So a fighter gets 200 gold. And I am allowing you to purchase one common magical item for 160 gold.
That's so cheap.
Yes. But most common magical items are either potions or useless. The Cloak of Flapping is one of my favorites.
I chose a magical item.
And the nice thing about it is, what magical item did you choose?
I went with one of the things out of the Tasha's Cauldron, which is a magical tattoo.
Very nice. What does the magical tattoo do?
It is called the Illuminator's tattoo. It is I may write with my I may write with a finger as if it is a pen with an ink that never runs out. And as a special ability to it, I may speak the name of a person and have an image of them in my mind, and whatever I write, only they and I can see.
So you can basically make secret messages and like we've been here before kind of messages, which is really cool.
Yeah, just little side things like that, or as I was discussing with other people about the fun applications of it, just like wiping something off of someone's forehead and doing graffiti as a message to say, like the local magistrate, his guard has a message on his forehead that reads that my boss is stupid. Basic fun dumb things.
I love it. I absolutely love it. So and common magical items again are generally are consumable or very minor effects like that one, which are I like the creative applications. If you go into here, if you go into items and just under rarity, there's a drop-down menu that you can click on. Click on common, and then you can just scroll through all of the common items.
Ooh.
And you are allowed to have one of those for 160 gold, which I believe means that no one should be able to buy more than one, which was my point.
Is it 160 or 110?
I had 160.
That's fair.
Yeah.
You did say 110 to us in chat.
Did I say 110 in chat? Because I want to make sure that no one is capable of buying two magical items regardless of their starting wealth. So I want to make sure that the cost is more than half of your starting money, no matter what your starting money is. So I'm going to go ahead.
That was true in mine. Like, even with the noble background, I couldn't get above 180.
Okay, so we'll say 110 then. If that's what I said before, then I believe you. I have a terrible memory.
I have a question.
I think Hedgie Cleric. By the way, Calder's with a K or a C.
I'm vacillating between the two. I might just go with C.
Fair enough. Jen, you have a question.
Yes, I'm trying to do my equipment. If you want to look at my inventory, I've started to put it together.
All right, let's take a look.
Because I'm using a bit of from both the noble background and the entertainer background. I'm kind of smushing those together.
Yeah, that's fine.
So that's giving me two. I'm kind of picking kind of either or from the one. So I did pick a second instrument.
Sure, I see you have a
carry
flute.
With.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to have leather armor. When I put in armor into the items thing, I get a bunch of infused leather armor.
Because if you are set to common, you don't want to be set to common. You want to be set to the blank at the very top.
It was originally set to blank, and it only gives me infused.
Let's see. I see.
Is this? I see leather. Oh wait, this might be leather armor.
I'm putting it into chat right now.
I see it. I see it.
It's just called leather. I don't know why.
Yeah, it's just called leather, which is very confusing.
That's silly.
Until you actually put the word armor down in the type.
Yeah, that's silly, but again, things aren't perfect.
But that's all right. So there's armor. And then I had a question about, because again, I'm going back and forth between the entertainer and the noble to make this noble bard. Yeah. And so equipment and on each one, I'm probably gonna get a costume. I should probably also have the signet ring or the scroll of pedigree.
Yeah, either of those is fine. A signet ring or a scroll, either way.
One has 25 GP and one has 15 GP.
Go with the higher 25. Of the two. Yeah, go with the higher of the two. It's fine.
Okay.
A 10 gold difference isn't going to be game breaking. And while we're here, by the way, why don't you tell me a little bit about your bard?
My bard's name is Clarion de Courtenay, and he is the third son of a small baron, the Baron of Westmoreland. He wants to be angsty and musical and have the kind of background that makes people. That's not what happened. His background, his parents were loving people. His siblings were well-adjusted people. The land and where he was from is all well-adjusted. There's not been any wars. There's no trauma in this dude's background at all.
Oh, the poor muffin.
The poor muffin, yes. But since he's a bard, that's not what he's going to tell you. He's going to spin yarns, and he's going to, puff himself up and use his charisma and be fantastic.
I absolutely love it.
This is actually a muffin hat. I made it. It's a Tudor muffin hat.
I was about to say, did you just make that for this stream?
Yes, I hand sewed it because I sprained my ankle and can't work my sewing machine right now.
Absolutely, just amazing. I'm finding. There we go. I'm doing thunderous applause. That's just the costuming that I'm seeing is incredible. I love it. It's amazing, and that goes for everybody, not just Jen. And let's go ahead and round out our character concepts by talking to Em. What did you have in mind with your character?
So I'm playing Hyacinth Durshad, who is a noble diplomat, and I had some questions concerning equipment as well. The rogue background has 2 selections, neither of which I want, and I was wondering if I could trade those out.
What did you want to have instead?
So instead of the short bow and/or short sword, I was looking at hand crossbow.
I am totally okay with you having a hand crossbow to start with. Yes.
I don't mind paying the difference if necessary.
No, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Okay. And then the last thing was the burglars, dungeoneers, and/or explorers pack, and I wanted to change that out to a diplomat's pack.
Perfect. Done. Nothing over or nothing out of balance there. No problem.
Fantastic. Do you want what do you want for information concerning their history?
I mean, you're basically introducing your character to our currently 24 viewers. So what would the viewers need to know about your character as they come into this dungeon?
So Hyacinth is a gender neutral character. So they will be using they them pronouns. And I think I'm the only one doing that, so that'll be fun. They are the heir to a marquis. Specifically, they will be eventually the 14th Marquis of Adric. So I expect for since they are I think the only heir character here, to be somewhat of a literal edgelord, if I can pull that off. So well, I mean, a marquis is a lord of a border county, so that is what an edgelord quite literally is. So, they were raised as a diplomat with their mother's family, but their parents are still alive and best friends and dating their own respective partners. And I intend to have probably some Romeo and Juliet stuff going on with their own personal life issues. So, yeah.
So we have.
I don't know if anybody else if anyone wants to know anything specific over here from you players, because I don't mind talking about it. But
and
it's
in fact,
eloquent isn't me.
Why don't we go ahead and have folks ask? I'm gonna give you a moment, because we've been doing this for an hour, and I think maybe a short break might be a good plan.
Yeah.
I would like you all 4 of you players, to think about questions that you've got for each other's players. So think about what you've heard, and it's okay if you don't remember names or anything. That's what VODs are for, right? We can go back and rewatch this anytime we want, and I know I'm going to be doing that because I have a terrible memory. But I would like
I'm taking notes.
I will come up with a fun, different question for each of you.
I would love for each of you to come up with questions, and I would love for you, chat, to also come up with questions for the 4 characters we've got. So once again, I would like to go through each person. Just tell me your character's name, your character's species and class, and how they tie into Oops All Nobles very quickly. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Let's go bottom to top. Jeff, name, class, Oops All Nobles.
I'll be playing Calder Creed. No, he is tied to a noble family, but I am not revealing on the outset because I want that to have some in-character baggage, however it manifests. I'm playing a tiefling sorcerer, and he is tied into the nobles nonsense by being the youngest child and bastard child to a very powerful and influential lord.
Fantastic. M, name, species, class, Oops All Nobles.
Hyacinth Duchamp. I am a human rogue, and I am the heir to a marquis.
Just as for my own personal edification, did you go regular human or variant human?
I am a variant human.
Of course you were. Amazing. Although with the new rules in Tasha's makes variant human not quite necessarily the immediate go-to. But anyway, I'm geeking out. Jen, character's name, race, class, Oops All Nobles.
Character is Clarion Ducourtenay, half elf, bard, third son of Baron of Westmoreland.
Ooh. Phenomenal. Alexis.
And your parents love each other and have a very good marriage.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. And all of my family is very well adjusted.
I have a great family. Every time we go home for the winter solstice meeting, nobody gets drunk and goes on racist rants. It's all perfect.
Ah, the dream.
They're sickeningly perfect. It's
Alexis.
really hard to write songs about them.
Alexis, character name, species, class, oops, all nobles.
Shirog Thar, half-orc barbarian. Probably got dared at the bar to go to the dungeon, and maybe somebody hired me for muscle. We'll figure that out.
Lovely. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and jump over to my GM screen, and I'm going to say, first off, thank you so very much to those of you who are here with us. Oh my God, I have gotten such a ridiculously good turnout here, and I've gotten such an amazing response from all of you. I hope you're enjoying yourselves so far. I know that we're talking a lot about character creation and theory crafting and all that other stuff, but it's one of those things that I think a lot of D&D games kind of skip. Like, I don't, generally speaking, when folks have a session 0, all the characters are built, all the backgrounds are done, everything's fine. And I wanted everyone to have a chance to see what it looks like when this sort of thing sort of arises organically. Everyone came in with their own ideas of what they wanted to play, but like, I wanted to use this time to sort of get this all together. And what we're going to do next is I'm going to describe, and this is a thing that I'm going to do that's experimental. I'm going to describe the plot hooks that are given in this adventure, and I'm going to ask the players, after they talk to each other and flesh out their player characters a little bit, I'm going to ask them to engage with the hooks, essentially, in the game. And I will give you the hooks as presented in the module, and I will let my players decide how they want to interact with this module. I think that's an experimental thing that I've never done before. Normally I do the usual DM, here's your hook, take it or leave it. But I want everyone to have their own reason to get into these dungeons. So we're going to go ahead and take a 3 to 5 minute break. Please do stick around. We're not done yet. And now that all the characters are hopefully mostly built, really quick, while I'm here, is anybody like not done with their character? Is anybody's character completely, or need any major help?
I am trying to put in my spells.
You're putting in your spells? I can help you out with that.
I admit I got very enthusiastic about this project way early in, and I've been done for a while, so yes.
I had a feeling you might be. Okay, so once again, we're going to go ahead and take a quick break. When we come back, we will probably do the first encounter of the game as we make our way towards the starting town. So please stick around. I will see you all very soon.